And a very good evening to you all from Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium here in Collinsville, Illinois. We are delighted to be covering and bringing you the Collinsville Mascoutah Tip-Off Classic and its final game of the day to figure out who will win the Collinsville Mascoutah Tip-Off. It's the K-Hawks of Collinsville against the Indians from Mascoutah. Good evening, everybody. My name is Matt Clark, joined alongside on the other mic by Zach Roseman. And the most highly anticipated game of this Tip-Off Classic is about to begin. The K-Hawks 2-0 in the Tip-Off Classic, 3-0 on the young season, and Mascoutah 2-0 on their season, with both of wins coming from the Mascoutah, or coming from this Tip-Off Classic. So the two best teams in this weekend tournament face off against each other in the round-robin format. So the winner here will win it all. Zach, this has been a good tournament for both of these two teams. They both have star players and strong players and really good offenses and defenses. They're good programs. Where do you see this game, just quickly, where do you see this game fitting for both of these teams? What are the keys to each team's chances of success?
Well, it should be a fun matchup, obviously. Both teams have had two pretty strong performances. Should be a pretty close and fun, exciting matchup. We've got, a pretty good crowd on hand, about as big as it's been for the tournament so far. We've got a decent number of fans for both teams here, and we'll go ahead and take a quick break for the national anthem.
Yes, and we'll be back shortly here on the K-Hawk Broadcast Club Network for starting lineups.
Todd Duke here, proud member of the Collinsville Educational Assistance Association. Whether you call us teachers' aides, paraprofessionals, or educational assistants, it all comes down to one thing: taking care of students. More importantly, your student. Yes, we are there for the teachers, and we help them in any way possible. But our goals are in line with our teachers, in that we want to see our students succeed at not only being a student, but well beyond that, as we ready them for the world outside of the classroom. We are Union Strong. We are K-Hawk Strong. We strive to help students reach their potential. We are the Collinsville Educational Assistance Association. Go K-Hawks! Chapman Trucking, LLC. Chapman Trucking is a local Collinsville business owned and operated by 1994 Collinsville graduate Christy Chapman. With over 10 years of experience, Chapman Trucking, LLC can take care of all of the heavy lifting when it comes to hauling aggregate materials such as sand, driveway rock, dirt, boulders, and more. That includes getting your heavy work equipment to your work site where it needs to be. Give Christy a call for a free estimate at Chapman Trucking, LLC, 618-960-9346, or online at chapmantruckingllc.net.
Back with you here at Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium, 3 minutes exactly away from the final game of this Collinsville Mascoutah Tip-Off Classic. One of these teams will be unbeaten no longer at the end of tonight's game. 32 minutes to decide a champion of the Collinsville Mascoutah Tip-Off Classic. It's the K-Hawks and the Indians. Matt Clark, Zach Roseman along with you. Let's talk, starting with Collinsville. The K-Hawks now 3-0 on their season, looking to move to 4-0. This team has high expectations, really high expectations from the entire community and from the coaching staff for them to compete and do well. Obviously, the big three are the names to think about when you look at the Collinsville K-Hawks. Won their first game of this young season on Tuesday at Heron to go to 1-0, and then they beat Miller Career Academy by 10 points to win on Friday night in a game where Nick Horace scored 30 points and Jamori Weisinger had 25. And today, a balanced attack helped them move to 3-0 when they beat Riverview Gardens. And correct me if I'm wrong, if I got the final score right or wrong, 85-31, Zach. I think that's what it was, but
85-30, or no, 82-35.
82-35, so a little bit of a jumble of numbers there. Zach Roseman, this will probably be the toughest test that they've had all season. They have had to deal with a little bit of adversity, especially in that Miller Career game, where the Phoenix just continued to try to get back into that K-Hawk lead. The K-Hawks kept them at an arm's length, though, throughout that second half. Do you think they're going to be able to compete and be able to hold on to that and deal with that adversity in tonight's game against Mascoutah?
Well, they showed that they were able to do that to a point against Miller Career Academy. Now, obviously, it's going to be some different challenges that Mascoutah are going to be able to provide. I don't know that Mascoutah have a dynamic, do-everything guy like Antoine Franklin, but they've got a pretty balanced squad. We've seen what Miles Entekop has been able to do, see how he matches up with Zach Chambers, their guard pairing, Jaden McCoo and Corey Harris, how they match up with Horace and Weisinger. We may see Chase Reynolds guarding one of those two defensively. We also have Jacob Young, how he will match up with Stanley Carnahan. It should be an exciting time. Like I mentioned before we went to break, as good of a crowd as we've had here so far in the tournament. Most of the lower bowl filled up here at Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium.
Yep.
And we'll have the introduction of the starting lineups here in just a moment.
Yep, and more people filing in as well on the Mascoutah end. You're looking at the two main targets, Jaden McCoo and Miles Entekop, who were the big pieces of a good second half for Mascoutah that helped them stretch away from Miller Career Academy and win that game by 9. They crushed Riverview Gardens 65-21 on the first game of the evening, or actually not the first game, or the first game of their season on Friday night. If they're going to be able to beat the host Collinsville in what would many consider an upset tonight, where does it start for the Indians?
Well, you have to be able to limit and mitigate what Horace and Weisinger have been able to do. They've both played really well. Should be a fun time. Obviously, the Entekop and Chambers matchup will be fun. And just be kind of interesting because there's some intriguing matchups, and if you break it down in that manner, it's going to be, who can outplay who? Can Harris and McCoo outplay Horace and Weisinger? Can Entekop outplay Chambers? And if you're able to win, the majority, say 3 out of the 5 individual battles, let's say, then you're going to be in a decent position to win. Obviously, we've seen both teams use their benches to success. We've seen what Tyree Brister has been able to do. Evan Wilkinson had a good showing earlier today. Mascoutah, we've seen Wyatt Beer come in and provide some solid minutes. The Williams duo, Jordan and Justin, have had some good things. We'll see what happens here as the starting lineups begin to be introduced.
And the Mascoutah Indians will go with their black uniforms today for the first time all season for them. They're in the road blacks. And for the Indians, they've been unchanged here in their 3 games under third-year head coach Cole Showmaker. And obviously the backcourt led by the 2 strong guards in Cordy Harris and Jaden McCoo, both juniors. And Jacob Young is a bit of a facilitator in the post, or a little bit of a wing player, Jacob Young, alongside Tyler Gray. Both of them are seniors alongside the big man in the middle, who will be Zach Chambers' biggest test of the year, of the season so far defensively. Big strong man Miles Entekop, who I believe led them in scoring in the first game in the game against Miller Career Academy earlier today. This Mascoutah team is very good and not to be taken lightly, and that's where Collinsville will have to face off against them, and again, they're going to have to really work hard to get this victory. No changes on the Collinsville end either. Obviously, you've got your main starting 5 for the K-Hawks. Obviously, Nick Horace, Jamori Weisinger, and Zach Chambers have all been good in this tournament. Nick Horace had 30 points on Friday, had a little bit of less of an offensive, huge offensive game today. Jamori Weisinger, I believe, had 17 against Miller Career Academy, and then Zach Chambers was able to score 20 in the season over against Heron. So all of those guys can score, and the more the facilitators on this team will be Chase Reynolds, the football player who also plays basketball, and Stanley Carnahan, who hit a season, he surpassed his career high with 12 points in the victory over Riverview Gardens today. Energy is high here inside Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium, just like it should be, and that's when it is so exciting to watch the Collinsville K-Hawks play as they look to go to 4-0 on the season. Coach Lee is in the purple blazer, and when he does that, it's going to be a pretty important game. Not only that, but Rayshawn Taylor is in the house here. The Collinsville K-Hawks all-time career leading scorer. Rayshawn is back in the house for his first game, game that he's been able to watch at Virgil Fletcher this season of this team. He was part of the SIUE team that won 81-67 today against Detroit Mercy, and I'm picking up the box score right now. Rayshawn added 15 points to that total alongside Jordan Pickard, who's also here. He was the Prairie Farms Holiday Classic Player of the Year. So a little bit of celebrities in the house here tonight. Purple against purple. K-Hawks versus Indians. Winner remains undefeated and wins the Collinsville Mascoutah Tip-Off Classic. Glad you could join us here on the K-Hawk Broadcasting Club Network. We're live here at Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium as Chambers wins the tip to an outstretched arms of Jamori Weisinger. K-Hawks will start from the ball. They're in the white uniforms with purple trim. They're going right to left on that screen of yours. And it'll be Horace trying to go inside. Big matchup here between Entekop and Chambers. Chambers with the fadeaway jumper, short. And that is going to be tough for Chambers to go against. He's not going to be able to back in powerfully against Miles Entekop like he's been able to do with every other defender that he's gone up against this season. Here's Jaden McCoo driving down the left side of the lane. His shot is an air ball, and Carnahan tips the rebound to Chase Reynolds, who will bring it up for the K-Hawks.
Yeah, just kind of a interesting matchup so far. Obviously, K-Hawks looking to work it into Chambers. Entekop stood tall so far.
Chambers looking to get it on that right shoulder. Both of these post players are left-handed. Chambers' shot is short. Stanley Carnahan gives up the rebound to Jacob Young. No points so far in this one. Here's Corey Harris, who's probably option number 3 for Mascoutah on their offensive end. McCoo inside to Entekop. He's strong in there as well. That goes out to Young on a strong cross-court pass. Now it's Harris. He'll go down the lane, past Weisinger, and scores to open the game. Mascoutah's got the lead to start us off.
Yeah, kind of working it down there into Entekop, and he showcased his passing ability well, and Young with some strong rebounding already. I believe he had 9 in the game earlier today against Riverview Gardens.
Weisinger's jumper is no good. Zach Chambers fights for the rebound. It falls to Carnahan, and K-Hawks can reset here. Shot clock resets back to 35 seconds. Here's Horace. And Reynolds over to the other side to Carnahan. He'll try a jumper. It's good. Stanley Carnahan had his career high earlier today against Riverview Gardens. It looks like he's carrying that, hoping to carry that over into tonight's game against Mascoutah. This is Tyler Gray inside to Entekop again. He will go strong. Spin move up, and that was tipped by Chambers. Jamori Weisinger catches the loose ball. Now it's Horace. Weisinger here, little fake on Harris, and the 3 is good for Jamori. That's what the K-Hawks could do. Jamori Weisinger can make every single shot that he throws up there. He's really good from three-point land, number 5 for the K-Hawks, and probably their most explosive offensive target.
Yeah, he's showcased his ability to really extend the range on that three-point shooting, pulling up from, out long way away, 25-plus feet, and he'll hit them pretty consistently, especially so far this year.
Young against Carnahan. Boy, some great matchups out here. A lot of players and a lot of good defenders. Feels like each team can kind of neutralize the other with their defenders, as the ball will stay with Mascoutah there on the play. 5-2 is our score here in this game.
We'll go ahead and so far here is Harris. He'll go ahead and bring it up.
This is Harris.
Yep.
Now it's McCoo. Gray. Out to Young, trying to find Entekop on the backside of Chambers. He does get the ball in his strong hand. Blocked by Chambers again, though. And once again, this is the tallest man that Entekop has played against so far this season.
And they're maybe exchanging a couple of words as they make their way down the court.
Carnahan inside to Horace. Horace will pull up for a jumper, and Collinsville starting to hit their shots. Nick Horace had 30 on Friday night, hits his first bucket of tonight's game, and the K-Hawks are up 7-2 here early on in the first quarter, trying to get this game started off strong. Here's Harris. He's got the lone bucket for Mascoutah. Collinsville now on a 7-0 run. Mismatch in here as Entekop goes up against Weisinger. But Cole Showmaker's not happy with what's going on the Mascoutah offense. It's sputtering as much as we've seen it all game or all weekend. And it'll be a 30-second timeout for the Indians. These two teams have played against each other in the past. They are 2-3, the Indians, against the K-Hawks since 2000. Last year, these two teams played. It was a 51-41 win for the Collinsville K-Hawks. They only allowed 10 points or more in just a single quarter, which was a good stat, and they're looking to do the same thing right here, I would say. They were only 6 going into the fourth quarter. Then the K-Hawks outscored the Indians 16-9 to secure that win. Nick Horace had 18 points to lead the K-Hawks, and Adam Remar, who graduated last year, at 16. The rest of the team combined for just 20 points. So the K-Hawks will be looking for players like Weisinger and Chambers, who maybe did not have as strong of a game against Mascoutah last year, to have a big impact tonight. Here's Harris. This is Jaden McCoo, really strong player. Inside Entekop, and that's going to be a foul on Chambers as Entekop went up there, didn't make the basket, but he'll go to the line to shoot 2. Chambers' first foul of the evening.
Yeah, working it down there in there to Entekop, who got pretty good position, and Zach making just a little too much contact, going for the block, and Endicott will shoot 2 free throws.
Miles Endicott, not a very good free throw shooter. He was under 50% last year from the line. His first shot tonight, though, is good. Seems like something, at least when we saw him earlier today, he had a couple of free throws. It looks like it's something that he's been working on, Endicott. That's 17, I believe, against Miller Career Academy.
Yep.
In that 55 to
46.
Yeah, 55-46 victory. Endicott's second free throw. No good. Carnahan's got the rebound there, kind of like Shaquille O'Neal. Makes one, misses the other. Looks a little bit like Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah, a little bit of a smoother form though than Shaq.
Horace on the outside. Great little flare screen. That opens Weisinger up for 3. Endicott with a very good box out there that helped him get an easier rebound. Now it's McCoo, who has been silent so far. No points. Trying to get his first points there. No good. Rebound strong from Endicott. He'll power inside on the drop step and score.
Solid.
That was a move of intent from Miles Endicott on the offensive end. Zach Chambers is going to be up against a powerful guy in there tonight.
Yeah, kind of fun to say that the art of the big man has died. Not at the high school level, not here tonight.
Strong elbow by Chambers. He'll get it to go. He's got his own power move of his own. And again, this is going to be a great matchup to watch. I've been waiting for this one all night. Tyree Brister will be the first one off the bench for the K-Hawks as they lead 9-5. He'll come into the next opportunity.
Looks like Wyatt Beer will be the first off the bench for the Indians.
Here's Young, guarded by Carnahan. He's trying to find something out, Mascoutah. K-Hawks are keeping them out on the perimeter and not allowing Mascoutah to attack, but Corey Harris does attack there. McCoo decides to drive inside. That's actually Tyler Gray who kicks it back out. Now Jacob Young got Carnahan to step a little bit. Wasn't able to make anything of it. 5 seconds on the shot clock, though, and Harris has got to run for it. He'll turn and shoot for 3. No good. Got knocked down at the end there. McCoo picks up the loose change on the rebound and cuts the lead to 2 here early in the first quarter.
Yeah, solid Mascoutah contingent making the 25-minute trip along I-64 and then up Route 159 here to Collinsville. And they're trying to make their presence felt. A lot of purple here in the building, in a building that is always purple.
Chambers inside. Oh, he was absolutely hammered going up. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. Let's see if that's on Endicott. He hasn't been in much foul trouble, Miles Endicott. That actually isn't going to go on him. It's going to go on Jacob Young instead, who was trying to help make sure the Chambers didn't get that shot up. And some of these, a good portion of this game could be won and lost at the free throw line, Zach Chambers. Both of these teams play really hard on defense, so sometimes they'll give up fouls.
Yep.
And can Chambers do a little bit better than Endicott at the free throw line? That'll be the hope. First shot is good off a nice roll.
Brister in for Reynolds, Beer in for Gray.
10 points for Endicott last time these two teams played. Outside of that, Mascoutah didn't have really much to go off of. McCoo only had 4 points in that game. That was at Mascoutah last year. Chambers is good again, 11-7.
And full court pressure from the K-Hawks, 1-2-1-1, as Horace will pick up a foul.
And the fans a little bit unhappy about that foul. A little bit cheap for Horace to give away there as he was trying to stop Harris from going down that sideline. He'll just need to be a little bit careful here. Doesn't want to pick up a second foul, as do no one wants to pick up a second foul here early in the first quarter, especially Nick Horace, probably the most consistent Collinsville player. You don't want him in foul trouble. Here's McCoo. Dribble handoff. This is Harris, guarded by Brister. Back to McCoo. McCoo will try to use his size and his lankiness to evade. Brister went out of bounds. Just dropped Corey Harris. Just dropped off of his shoe. And even though Nick Horace got called for that foul, Mascoutah doesn't come away with anything on that possession. Good energy from both teams here tonight. Weisinger will go alone. Up with the left hand, no good. And Mascoutah's able to sky in for the rebound. It's going to be Harris. 2-on-2 here. Brister trying to chase Harris back. Now they got a trap down in the block. Great pass from Brister. This is a 3 from Beer. No good. The catch actually came from Harris. Now the Chaos can go the other way. Here's Nick Horace coming up the other end. Foul on McCoo as the fast break there. McCoo thinks he's got all ball. Refs didn't think so. Horace will be able to get a little bit of karma there and get his chance to score some free throws after a questionable call from the officials there.
And they are going to rule that a shooting foul, which is a little bit of an interesting thing on its own.
Nick Horace has now won 50 games as a varsity starter. He's played in 68 over his 3 years as a varsity player. Started on that team that won a regional championship in 2022.
Yep, featuring one broadcast partner
None other.
of mine. Yep.
It's fine. We don't have to worry about that. Nick Horace goes 2 of 2 from the line. Canucks stretch their lead back out to as large as it's been in this first quarter. It's a 6-point advantage. Canucks have really played with a lot of 10, and for good reason. They've got a little bit more energy than I think Mascoutah may have. Good work on the press by Nick. He dives to the floor there. Still loose, and right at the end of the basket. Picks up the loose, changes Horace. Great battle between both players, and Brister gets called for the foul. K-Hawk fans love that. That is hard-nosed basketball. Loving it here. High school Illinois basketball. Can't get any better than that. Players diving on the floor.
Foul is on Young in that scramble situation. And we'll see Mascoutah go to their bench. Young will come out. We'll see Jordan Williams come in.
Gotta love that hustle.
Yep.
Both teams in their final game of the weekend giving extreme hustle to that play. Multiple K-Hawks on the floor to make sure they got the possession. Now can they capitalize on it is the question. Carnahan inside. That's Chambers. He's got the positioning but goes on the other side. Now he'll go with the good left hand and score. And right now, you talked about individual battles, Zach. Zach Chambers is beating Miles Entekop in that individual battle so far.
Yeah, still early. See Evan Wilkinson, who had a really strong showing, got into double digits against Riverview Gardens, excuse me. Now they're going to help down. Horace going to get the steal.
Doing it on the defensive end. Now Weisinger can come away with it. And Weisinger will not get the buckets go. Carnahan's got the rebound, though. 10-point lead for the K-Hawks. Timeout, Cole Showmaker. Collinsville playing, I would say, their best basketball of the weekend. Right here, right now, exactly what they want to see. And it's going to be a full timeout for the Indians. This is not something they have faced all season. We'll be back in 60 seconds here on the K-Hawk Broadcast Club Network with more action from the Collinsville-Mascoutah Tip-Off Classic.
The people of Illinois welcome you. The folks in Collinsville, Illinois, well, they want you to stick around for a while and enjoy the sights, the fun, the food, and, of course, the Collinsville K-Hawks. The city of Collinsville is a proud supporter of the Collinsville Unit 10 School District. So welcome to Collinsville. Come on over, catch a K-Hawks game, or enjoy some of the new places to eat, shop, and have fun. There's plenty to do for the young and the young at heart. Enjoy Christmas at the Collins House during the holidays, tunes at Bloom in the warm summer months, and more. There's plenty to do in Collinsville, so come on over for a bit. The folks in Collinsville would love to see you. For more information, go to www.collinsville.org.
Boy, great to be back with the energy and excitement here at Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium. Collinsville, just with a quick run there, is stretching out to 17-7. Zach, that's what this team can be. Great defense on one end, but then turning it into points on the other end. Not only do they get the steal, but Stanley Carnahan gets the offensive rebound and puts it up for 2.
Yeah, this is something, it's a lot of fun getting a big crowd in here at Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium. You and I have both had the honor of being in this gym for some very, very exciting basketball games. Obviously, it was my senior year, that legendary 2020 team featuring one Brayshawn Taylor team, and it was a fun time as that's Evan Wilkinson will pick up the foul.
Solomon Talbot is going to come into the game for the K-Hawks. Give Zach Chambers a quick breather with 48 seconds to go here in the first quarter. No one has multiple fouls yet. Actually, Jacob Young from Mascoutah does have 2. And I tell you what, K-Hawks are just trying to get on every loose ball that they can find here at the end of the first quarter, and they're seeing that it's working, and now they're trying to be even more aggressive.
Yep. Tough task though for Talbot. We'll see. We'll probably try and see if they can't get it into Entekop.
12 seconds separate shot clock and game clock here with 35 seconds to play. This is Harris. Good on-ball defense by Tyree Brister. He's able to get the steal. No, he's not. It's going to be a foul call, and unfortunately for the K-Hawks, they've had a couple of opportunities there where you got these little ticky-tack fouls that go one way or go the other, and at that time it went against the K-Hawks. And the next foul for Mascoutah would put them in the bonus, or the next foul for K-Hawks would put Mascoutah in the bonus.
Yep. Shot clock turned off. Indians can hold for 1 here.
Jaden McHugh about ready to get a screen from Miles Entekop. They have been the 2 main stars for this team this weekend. McHugh will go left, now turns. Jumper on the elbow, no good. Entekop soars in there for the rebound, but couldn't get the bucket to go. And Mascoutah does not keep it in bounds on the next try. And Dowles will get a couple of offensive players in here with Nick Horace and Zach Chambers. And I tell you what, that just feels like really kills any Mascoutah momentum at the end of the first quarter with Entekop missing the bunny right at the rim.
Yeah, nice job there. Able to get the rebound, but Talbot survives, and now Horace will have a look.
Horace goes inside, fouled, and will shoot free throws.
That might be on Entekop. No.
Miles Entekop still foul-less in this first quarter, which I guess he'll be completely fine with. Mascoutah with just the 7 points in the quarter. And Talbot will come back, check back in for Chambers. That's not the prettiest way to get something at the buzzer, but now they've got a chance with Horace to make 2 free throws and get some extra points. He couldn't make the first.
Talbot will come in for Chambers. Yeah, go ahead, Matt.
Well, you've got maybe just a little bit of time potentially to throw up a shot if Carnahan was to get the offensive rebound. But that would require Horace to miss his second shot, and I don't think he has any intention of doing that. Looking to push the lead to 11 at the end of the first quarter. Short on the rebound, and that will take the clock down to zeros here in the end of the first quarter. But that is a very impressive quarter from the Jayhawks, specifically on the defensive end. The Mascoutah Indians haven't given up more than 40 points, have only given up about 60 points all season coming into this game. They've given up 17 to the Jayhawks here early, and the Jayhawks have a 10-point lead. Back with you with the second quarter here on the Jayhawk Broadcasting Club Network in just a moment.
The Junior Service Club of Collinsville has been a proud supporter of KayhawkSports.com and the Kayhawk Sports Network from day one. Since 1934, the Junior Service Club of Collinsville has been providing women in the community an opportunity to make a difference with fundraisers and projects, all that go towards helping the needy in Collinsville. If you would like any information on any event sponsored by the Collinsville Junior Service Club, head to Facebook, type in Collinsville Junior Service Club, and then click on the Event tab. We thank the Collinsville Junior Service Club for their continued support of the Kayhawk Sports Network and KayhawkSports.com.
(17-7) our score here at the beginning of the second quarter. Matt Clark, Zach Roseman. Been a delightful tournament. Thank you to Collinsville High School and the opportunity, Todd Duke, for allowing us to broadcast these games. It's been really fun, and we're probably looking at one of our better games of the weekend right here. But the Jayhawks have opened up a 10-point lead. They've shown why they are considered one of the best teams in the St. Louis area with their performance in the first quarter. Oh, good piece away from Brister. That puts Corey Harris right in the corner, but he gets past Brister, Tyree Brister, who loves just getting steals and creating chaos on defense, as I heard it from one Jayhawk fan himself. Here's Harris. Steps back out, guarded by Carnahan. A bit of a mismatch here with 10 on the shot clock. Spins on the outside. McCoo's shot fake. Pulls up from the mid-range. No good. Beers in there trying to get the rebound, but Carnahan comes away with it, and the Jayhawks will push once more. It's Brister driving down with his right hand, fouled before he could get that shot off as he was going into the lane. Jayhawks will have it out of bounds.
Yeah, we'll see who they give that foul to, and it will be on Harris. Horace and Chambers back in for the Jayhawks. Carnahan and Talbot will head to the bench.
Coach Lee being really conservative with Horace and Chambers with just one foul. He wants to make sure that he doesn't lose either of those players to foul trouble here. Chambers trying to find Brister. Pass was short from Gray. Now they'll try to open up Horace here on the far side of the screen. Then he'll go inside his front. Weisinger with the three. It's good. Hand in his face. Didn't matter. And the Jayhawks have a 13-point lead. Zach Roseman.
He's quite possibly the best shooter I've ever seen come from Collinsville in my time, which is not as long as definitely some people. But another turnover for Mascoutah. That'll be a backcourt violation.
And it will be another great stop for the Collinsville Jayhawks on defense. They're really putting an emphasis on this in this quarter. And when you've got the good offensive production from players like Jamori Weisinger, it's only going to reap good rewards for Collinsville, if that makes any sense. Minute passed here in the second quarter. Tried to lob it inside to Chambers, turned it over. Now Brister tried to get it back from Gray, but Gray got around him. Now it's Beer. He'll drive in alone, and then he took too many steps, turned it over anyways. Horace, long pass. Now it's Wilkinson. He'll elect to go back out. Now he's got Brister. Horace, straightaway three. It's good. Another one for the Jayhawks. They are shooting the ball super hot right now, and the lead extends to 16 points. Mascoutah has no answer for the Jayhawks' three-point shooting.
Yeah, 6-0 run from the Jayhawks here in the first, not quite 2 minutes of the second quarter.
This is Harris. Kayak defense just suffocating the Indians right now. Brister's part of it. Loose ball. Kayaks have another opportunity here. It'll be Weisinger who will lay it up for two. Mascoutah getting absolutely drubbed right now in the second. You're here in the second quarter. Collinsville dominating.
Yeah, this is a little bit different from what Mascoutah are used to, down 18. This isn't something like what you're used to seeing in the Mississippi Valley Conference.
Yeah, Southwestern Conference, you just see the differences in conferences right now. That's another turnover.
We'll see Young and Justin Williams re-enter. Beer and Gray, I believe, will head to the bench.
Talk about the big three for Collinsville. At least it looks like the seniors. Jamori has 8. Nick Horace has 7. Zach Chambers has 6. They are all contributing at great spots. Here's Horace. Lays it to Brister. He'll drive towards the right side. Out to Weisinger, who's made a couple of threes already. This time it's an elbow jumper. No good. Zach Chambers tried to just reach in there for the rebound. Didn't want to get it over the back call. But Collinsville have a really strong lead to work with here. This is Gray. Threw up just a hopeful shot. Nothing doing. Jayhawks have more numbers here. Horace to Weisinger. Once again, the Jayhawks score. Now Entekop on the other end. Oh, wow, and one for Miles Entekop. And if Mascoutah's going to get back in this game at all, that is a great place to start. Wow, what a jam from Entekop.
Yeah, get the N1. That's Chambers' second foul, and I guess you call it an N1. I guess you can say that's a poster for Miles Entekop.
And Chambers was behind him.
Well,
you have to poster someone when you're in front of the player, right? Am I wrong there?
No.
Maybe you and I have different definitions on a posterizer. I'm not sure.
I mean, it's an N1. You got fouled on a dunk. I don't know.
The bigger, more important thing for the Jayhawks, though, is that Zach Chambers has 2 fouls here with 5 minutes to go in the second quarter. Maybe he should have just let Miles Entekop jam it if he wanted to. They'll look to try to complete the three-point play here and get Mascoutah into double figures. That goal is unsuccessful. Carnahan's got the rebound.
He's got 5 or 6 already.
The Jayhawks have to make sure that that dunk from Entekop doesn't turn into a couple more points to get Mascoutah back in this game. Talbot comes in relief for Chambers. Weisinger inside. It's Talbot, lost the ball. It'll be a turnover, and Mascoutah will get possession right back with 4:46 to go here in the second quarter.
Yeah, this will be a tough test for Solomon. Probably the highest quality individual player that he's had to match up. Had a good showing against Miller Career. I believe he wound up with 8 points. But
that was actually Riverview Gardens, right?
Or yeah, against Riverview Gardens.
Excuse me. Double check.
Yeah, this is a little bit of a different animal in the form of one Miles Entekop.
McHugh, I don't think he has only like 2 points. Now Entekop will try to use his strength. Drop step, good to go. Another and one for Entekop. Hasn't been able to make the free throws at the line, but a bit of a problem that Coach Lee and the Jayhawks have to try to solve here defensively.
Foul is on Carnahan, his first. And this is something that Mascoutah may be able to exploit, maybe one weakness that exists for Collinsville. They don't really have a backup power forward. You know, kind of the backup power forward would be somebody like A.J. Main, but he's not somebody that Coach Lee would really want to rely on for extended minutes at the varsity level.
So it was a 20-point lead. Jayhawks have a 5-0 run, or Indians have a 5-0 run going here now, so it's down to 15. Horace, that pass almost didn't quite connect. Jayhawks got to settle it down just a little bit here halfway through the second quarter. Reynolds looking for Talbot inside. It's just smothering defense from Entekop on the post. Now it's Morey. Around the baseline, tiptoes his way inbounds, then finds open space on the baseline to shoot and score. And just when Mascoutah thought they were sniffing something back into this game, Jamori Weisinger makes it look so easy every single time he comes down the floor and puts it into the net.
Just got major deja vu. I feel like I'm watching Rayshawn Taylor again with a move like that.
Gray got open on the three-pointer there, but it didn't fall. Mascoutah have been cold from 3. Now the Jayhawks can run again. They've been doing it all half. Horace goes up for the layup. He will be fouled by McHugh and go to the line. That's McHugh's second foul. And with 2 points here, Jaden McHugh has really struggled for the Mascoutah Indians. Now he's got 2 fouls to worry about.
Yeah, really the only, much like the game last year, really the only Indian player able to get much going has been Miles Entekop. But it can't all be him. Horace's free throw no good. He's missed a couple, But rather quickly, we'll see Zach Chambers come back in.
Normally a pretty good free throw shooter, Nick Horace. An all-around player, as we've called him in the past. 8.8 points per game last year. Averaged about 3 or so rebounds and 5.5 assists. So he's doing it all for the K-Hawks as he'll make the second one, calms himself down. And the K-Hawks have their lead back up to 18 with 3.5 to go in the quarter. Now K-Hawks are going to look zone defense here. They did a little bit of this in their win against Riverview Gardens, but it was with Solomon Talbot in instead of Stanley Carnahan. So this will be interesting to see if Mascoutah could break it, and if they do, they could probably get a couple of threes to help them out. Here's Gray. Young will rotate onto the near baseline. This is Harris. 9 seconds on the shot clock, and I don't think Harris knows it. Now McHugh back to Harris. He will have to shoot this three. Not great shot selection from the Indians, but Nick Horace is there able to strip it away, and Chambers helped him out. Great offensive look for the K-Hawks, and Horace will soar in for 2. K-Hawks imposing their will on Mascoutah here tonight. It has not been a contest so far, and the fast break offense from Collinsville has been nothing short of perfect tonight, Zach.
Yeah.
This is Williams into the middle, shot short. Rebound allowed to be put back up and in, and Mascoutah certainly just needed something like that. It's Justin Williams who puts it up, and good for 2.
Yeah, nice job there. Able to, Williams not a real big guy, only listed at 5'11", but able to get the rebound kind of around Chambers.
Chambers inside, trying to get around. Entekop loads it up there, no good. Reynolds is able to keep it in on that near baseline. Great hustle play from Chase Reynolds, the backup quarterback and the receiver earlier this season. Just seeing the basketball like he sees the football. Make sure he keeps the catch and stays in bounds, right?
Absolutely.
Here's Horace. Drives inside. Nice spin move on McHugh. What a move by Horace. Couldn't get the shot to quite go. But another rebound by Chase Reynolds. Oh, and he tried to pass it to Chambers, and it didn't quite connect. So not the greatest turnover for Collinsville there. Now Williams will try to go up, and it was swatted by the right hand of Chambers as he tried to go up and around to score.
Yeah, Entekop, a little slow moving there. Looks like he's going to stay in the game. Brister will re-enter.
And with him,
for
Miles Entekop being the
Chambers, so interesting lineup. And we'll see Beer come in. He'll replace Williams.
So now Carnahan has to go up against a beat-up Miles Entekop, and with him being the best option for Mascoutah, he's got 8 points, the big senior in the middle for the Indians. They're going to hope that he can help out a little bit, and they hope he can stay healthy throughout the rest of this game. Q's one-on-one on the baseline. He's going to get the screen from Entekop, though. They work well when they do that, but the pass is deflected away by Horace. Entekop spoils into the floor to try to get the ball back. McHugh made the 3, but Entekop traveled as he was sliding across the floor to grab the basketball.
Yeah, some frustration there from Entekop. I mean, this is a tough, obviously, you know, not used to really playing a team like Collinsville. Mascoutah don't typically play a lot of Southwestern Conference teams. It's a different brand of basketball.
Brister, great pass. Horace elects not to shoot. Now he'll go in and slash himself. Swatted away by Entekop. My goodness, he soared there. 1 minute to play in the second quarter. K-Hawks lead by 18 points. Brister working hard on the sideline, does get up the foul, though. That's Brister's second, and you're always prone to allowing that to happen if you're Tyree Brister, especially when your on-ball defense is so tight like that. Sometimes you can make contact and draw a foul.
Yeah, Entekop still a little gimpy, favoring maybe that right knee just a little bit, but he's going to try and tough it out. Yeah, you can see it now still. Steal there from Brister.
Great catch by Brister. He'll try to go up and alone. K-Hawks back up 20. Brister's got his first points of the day. He responds after getting the foul called on him by forcing a turnover and scoring.
And looks like we're going to see Entekop come out. Jordan Beck, not a guy who's gotten a ton of playing time, just sparingly against Riverview as Carnahan almost got the steal.
Ball was loose there, but McHugh picked it back up. 13 seconds on the shot clock here, 30 seconds to go in the second quarter. K-Hawks have been really good tonight. This is what they can be when they play hard on both ends. Another turnover here, and I think Collinsville might try to push here with Reynolds. He will. Gets it out to Weisinger. Oh, in the pass just went out of bounds. Weisinger couldn't quite control it, and the K-Hawks won't get the final shot of the quarter. At least it seems right now that that's the case.
And now Jordan Beck, so kind of this is something a little different. Entekop, not a guy who's going to sit the bench all that much, but
The good news for Mascoutah is that it's almost halftime, so Endicop's going to have 10 minutes here to rest before he has to come back out and play again. Jaden McHugh, the main dribbler for Mascoutah, one of their leading scorers, trying to find some space. Now it's out to Gray. 1 second on the clock. Shot is short. Halftime. Great complete half from the Collinsville Kayaks, both on defense and on offense. They've got to be proud of their effort, and the Kayak fans applaud them off the floor. Kayaks lead by 20. I don't think we were expecting it to be this lopsided going into the half, Zach.
Yeah, not quite so much. Kind of an interesting, quick little tidbit here. Both quarters, exact same number of points for both teams.
Wow.
17-7 in both the first and the second quarters. It's just been a balanced effort from the three main guys for Collinsville, and for Mascoutah, obviously don't want anybody getting hurt, but especially a guy like Endicop, with him, hopefully, not sure what exactly it is, but favoring that knee. Hopefully it's not anything too major. He's able to come in because he's really been the primary offensive guy for Mascoutah. McHugh has not really done a whole lot.
Collinsville leads 34-14. A very good half for the Kayaks. They'll be looking to make it 2 good halves and go undefeated here in the Collinsville Mascoutah tip-off class. We've got about a 10-minute break here at Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium, and we'll be back in just a little while after a word from our local sponsors here on the Kayak Broadcast Club Network.
Got vinyl? Rich's Record Emporium in Uptown Collinsville can take care of all of your vinyl needs and more. You can peruse through thousands of records, from country to hard-to-find jazz, and classic rock is always in stock at Rich's Record Emporium. Used vinyl, new vinyl, and hard-to-find vinyl. Don't forget to check out the audio room at Rich's, where you can check out the latest in audio gear, from new top-of-the-line speakers to turntables and receivers, plus all of the accessories. Rich's has t-shirts, record cleaners, turntable needles, wall art, and so much more. If you can't find what you're looking for at Rich's, they will do their best to find it for you. Don't forget to mention seeing this ad on the Kayak Sports Network for a 10% discount at checkout. Rich's Record Emporium, 131 West Main Street in Collinsville, or call 618-795-1333 or online at richesrecordemporium.com.
The Collinsville Education Association is a proud supporter of KayakSports.com and the Kayak Sports Network. The CEA is your partner as they work to ensure quality education for our children. The CEA advocates excellence and equity in public education and represent over 400 educators in 11 schools in both Madison and St. Clair counties. For more information, you can visit the Collinsville Education Association's Facebook page or the CEA's website at collinsvillecea.org.
Looking for a little bite to eat in a nice, friendly establishment before heading out to a game? Look no further than LC's Pub in Caseyville. Just blocks from Collinsville High School, LC's Pub is the pub of choice for K-Hawk fans, before, after, or even during K-Hawk games. LC's Pub features a wide variety of traditional bar food like burgers and fries, chicken wings and chicken strips, appetizers like pepper jack mac and cheese bites, fried pickles, and green beans. Plus they have salads, fish, shrimp, and more. LC's Pub also features an outdoor patio, a gaming room, weekly poker tournaments, and a pool table, plus enough TVs for all the sports fans. And LC's Pub shows K-Hawk games live, as well as Blues and Cardinals games. LC's Pub, 605 North Main Street in Caseyville, right across the intersection from All Pro Tees. Call for carry-out orders at 618-855-9007 and on Facebook at LC's Pub. LC's Pub, K-Hawk fans' pub of choice.
Herald Square and Cold Herald, 2 great additions to the Collinsville landscape. Next to the Old Herald Brewery and Distillery, Herald Square is a new outdoor multi-use event space in Collinsville. Concerts, fun and games, farmer markets, and so much more. Herald Square, a great space for Collinsville's future. And, just off the square's turf, Cold Herald, old-fashioned scooped ice cream gelato, house-made recipes, and premium-sourced product. If you're over 21, ask about the good stuff at Cold Herald. Watch Collinsville grow. Herald Square and Cold Herald, 2 great new additions, only in Collinsville, Illinois.
Are you in need of a new mailbox to go with your new home? How about a new mailbox to replace your old one? Look no further than Big Dick's Brick Mailboxes in Collinsville. From economy to custom, Big Dick's Brick Mailboxes can create a mailbox that suits your needs. Big Dick's Brick Mailboxes is licensed and insured. They use only high-quality materials and offer a satisfaction guarantee policy. Big Dick's Brick Mailboxes can also make your very own axe throwing set, hanging or standing. Whether you need that axe throwing set or a new mailbox, you need Big Dick's Brick Mailboxes in Collinsville. For more information, get a hold of Big Dick's Brick Mailboxes at 618-680-0208 or online at needanewmailbox.com. Collinsville Barbecue Supply, home of Code 3 Spices, is first responder owned by proud K-Hawk alums. Located at 1966 Vandalia, Collinsville Barbecue Supply is your one-of-a-kind barbecue headquarters that focuses on everything barbecue and cooking. Providing the best American-made barbecue grills, in-person class instruction, smokers, rubs, sauces, accessories, and cooking expertise from professional barbecue experts, including an in-house chef and pit master. Code 3 Spices provides award-winning rubs and sauces that support our nation's first responder and military organizations that focus on providing aid to the fallen, suicide prevention, and PTSD awareness. Stop by and see the guys at Collinsville Barbecue Supply for all of your cooking and grilling needs. Collinsville Barbecue Supply, home of the 4-time World Championship Patriot Sauce. Learn more about their products and mission in giving back to those who serve at collinsvillebarbecue.com. 618-855-8855.
Your home is where you feel happy, safe, and secure. So if you see signs of foundation problems like cracks or uneven floors, worrying is natural, and getting it fixed is crucial. Woods Basement Systems understands. We've been solving foundation worries since 1986. Woods experts have the training and equipment to make permanent repairs. So stop worrying, because with Woods, it's fixed forever. Foundation problems don't get better with time, they get better with Woods, the all things basement-y experts. Call or go to woodsbasementsystems.com today.
The Collinsville Education Association is a proud supporter of KHawkSports.com and the K-Hawk Sports Network. The CEA is your partner as they work to ensure quality education for our children. The CEA advocates excellence and equity in public education and represent over 400 educators in 11 schools in both Madison and St. Clair counties. For more information, you can visit the Collinsville Education Association's Facebook page or the CEA's website at collinsvillecea.org.
Looking to buy a new home or sell your current home? Trust the Blaylock Group of eXp Realty with all of your real estate needs. The real estate market is hot right now, and you can trust the years of experience the Blaylock Group brings to the table. The Blaylock Group can help you find your dream home, or they can help you get top dollar for your current home. Give Peyton or Emily Blaylock a call today at the Blaylock Group of eXp Realty, 618-780-4622. That's 618-780-4622. The Blaylock Group of eXp Realty.
All right, back here at K-Hawk, or at Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium. Let's say K-Hawk Stadium. We're not playing football, we're playing basketball here at Collinsville High School. Our final half of the Collinsville Mascoutah Tip-Off Classic. And, well, we said this was going to be a pretty close one at the beginning of the game, but Collinsville have played really well here. 34-14, they lead over Mascoutah. They ought to be proud of their first half effort, only giving up 14 points to an Indians team that scored more than 50 in each of their first two games. Matt Clark, Zach Roseman alongside me. Zach, I mean, I'm looking at this. This is about as impressive of a defensive display as I've seen from Collinsville in this group of players in maybe ever. I don't mean to go superlative and go crazy here, but that is, I feel like this is one of the greater defensive works from Collinsville in a long time. What, for you, have you been seeing that has worked on defense so far for Collinsville?
Really the big thing has been they've kind of limited the dribble penetration, which is something that Mascoutah have done a lot of, and McCoo and Harris and Gray haven't really been able to shoot the ball. They've had games where they have shot the ball well, they just haven't tonight. And that's something that Collinsville and, Jamori Weisinger especially, he's shot the ball well all year. Shot the ball well down in Heron, which playing in that bowl-style gymnasium, it's not something you see a lot of anymore. And obviously he's come in here to the more familiar environs of Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium. He hasn't missed a beat. And we'll see if the K-Hawks are, obviously Coach Lee and, all the K-Hawk fans are probably going to be hoping that sort of thing continues. But it's been a balanced scoring effort for the K-Hawks as well. Jamori Weisinger has been, well, I've talked about Jamori already. Nick Horst has had some good showings. Probably not going to drop 30 like he did last night. But it's been, a solid effort, and it's going to be Nick Things. Stan's probably got 8 rebounds. Maybe not 8, but he's got a pretty good number of rebounds. He's been able to score some.
Yeah.
Zach has done well enough against the, has done well enough against Endicott. Endicop's really been the only one to be able to get much of anything going. And he is back out to start the second half. We saw him kind of favoring that right knee a little bit, but looks like he's okay, and the Chaos will have the ball to start the second half.
And they'll have a 20-point lead to work with here at the beginning of the second half. They were up big on Miller Career Academy as well, but let the Phoenix seep back into the game on Friday night. But that's a good start. Carnahan, great shot fake on Young, and that's exactly how you want to start the second half, and that's exactly how you can make sure that a team like Mascoutah is put away early in the second half. Here's McHugh. Baseline. Mascoutah rises out of their own, and Chambers called for his third foul right up against Endicott, and that is the only worry that the K-Hawks really have right now, is the fact that Zach Chambers is in a bit of foul trouble here, and Endicott has done well against anyone not named Zach Chambers when they've been guarding him.
Yeah, is just able to, and that's kind of been Coach Shoemaker, that's kind of been the focus, kind of work it, kind of that, at times almost kind of like a 4.5 out, obviously. And with the outside shots not falling as much as they have, it's been, get to your safety valve, get it to Miles and let him work, and he's done a fairly good job for that so far, but he hasn't done enough with as well as the K-Hawks have played to be able to keep the Indians really, it feels closer than 22 points, but that's what the margin is.
Yeah, Endicott left some points on the board last time these two teams played. Collinsville K-Hawks won by 13 points, 54-41 last year. And he does bank in the second free throw. He's gone 1 for 2, I believe, on all 3 of his attempts, up to 9 points. That leads the Indians so far. And Endicott only finished the game with 10 points, and that's the reason why he just could not get both shots to fall at the free throw line on every trip. Evan Wilkinson checked into the game as we were speaking on that free throw. He'll look to go inside to Carnahan, who doesn't have the size advantage. Shoots the fadeaway anyway, short, and Young will grab the rebound as Collinsville will go a little bit of small ball here. Yeah. Here's Young. Decides not step into the 3, and then the backdoor miscommunication there with McCoo as McCoo is looking to go on a backdoor cut. That's an empty possession yet again for the Indians.
Yeah, kind of an interesting look. Coach Lee changing around with the personnels. We saw Chambers and Talbot on the floor at one time, and now we see neither of them on the floor. Running Stanley Carnahan at center, which so far has worked relatively well in my opinion.
Horace on the wing, looking for Stanley inside. Tipped around, then he finally controls it. Back out to Horace as he realized he didn't have a lot to work with there. 10 seconds left. They'll get it to their main ISO man. Weisinger will drive inside, slipped, and now go back to Mascoutah. Weisinger looks like he's okay. May have lost a shoe. Harris's layup is no good. Endicott comes back into the play after being on the floor there with Weisinger. Shot clock resets. Harris tries again. He's fouled by Horace. Will go to the line to shoot 2.
Kind of a hectic situation there. Not sure that there wasn't a foul on one of the players, but foul is on Evan Wilkinson, and we'll see Harris shoot some free throws, it appears.
So Corey Harris, again, the third option for Mascoutah in this offense behind McCoo and Endicott. Scored 6.5 points per game last year. But only 1 point against Collinsville last time these two teams played. He's got more than that today with that free throw. He's now got 3 points. Calls him a gym rat, Coach Showmaker, and trying to get in the gym and trying to get better every single day. That's the one thing that Mascoutah does have. They work very hard when they're practicing and when they're not, and when they're in games.
Yeah, it's the effort has not been lacking really from any of the teams in the tournament.
Not at all. Endicott, long pass to Gray, stays in bounds. Now McCoo's open after he got past Wilkinson, and he scores. And Mascoutah may try to build on that bucket by Jaden McCoo. He's now got 4 points. Mascoutah's energy starts to get a little bit bigger. Trying to make one basket, turn it into two, but Weisinger pulls for a jumper here. He's short, and an opportunity here for Mascoutah now to capitalize. Harris, guarded by Wilkinson. 2 K-Hawk subs coming in on the next opportunity. Those will be Brister and Chambers. This is McCoo. Now they're trying to find Endicott inside. Carnahan's got the arm on him there, just trying to find a way to guard him. Drop step up, score!
That's a tough post move. Not a lot of guys are going to do that. And, said Endicott maybe a little raw last year, but he's been able to refine that post game, and he's proving a little power-problematic for the K-Hawks.
Weisinger now. Mascoutah taking steps closer and closer to maybe get this game a little bit more tight. Wilkinson, right at the elbow, step back to the 3. Now Horace will fire away. Good for 3! And that's just what the K-Hawks needed. Stops all the Mascoutah momentum right in its tracks.
And of course, up to 13 points. Really, honestly, in my opinion, he's probably been the MVP for the K-Hawks so far.
Yeah, he could be the MVP of the Tip-Off Classic. Now McCoo's got a chance to answer. No, Reynolds got the rebound. Horace is going out on the outside of the fast break. Now he's up against McCoo once more. Carnahan gets into the post late. K-Hawks can be patient with every shot they have with that 19-point lead that they've got now. Weisinger for 3. That is off to the right side. You just tell that shot didn't quite come off of Weisinger's hands right. Now Mascoutah will go on the fast break. Harris down the baseline, goes up strong. Couldn't get it to get to the line, try to get the 2 points from the free throw. And finally, Brister and Chambers are going to be able to get into this game, Zach.
Yeah, Carnahan picks up his second foul. So we'll see Jordan Beck come in for the Indians, maybe give Endicott a little bit of a rest.
Yeah, Endicott looks tired here. You've got to remember that these two teams both played earlier today. Mascoutah, a much tougher game than Collinsville, so they might be running out of gas a little bit here in the second half, where they're going to have to play really hard to come back into this game. Harris missed the first one. That one was short. That's a very good example of it, and that will be a substitute for Mascoutah. So we were just talking about Jordan Beck comes into the game.
See, Mascoutah have played, kind of used some extra guys, both of the Williams getting in, so played about 8 or 9. Collinsville using Talbot, Brister, and Evan Wilkinson a fair bit, so about 8 deep for the K-Hawks so far today.
Empty trip for the line for Harris. Weisinger went up for the layup. I think Young got a piece of it down there, and now Mascoutah will push forward once more. It's Harris, strong and fast with that right hand. He's got Young rotated over. Open 3 for Tyler Gray in the corner. That's good. Weisinger goes down in a heap on that play. Second time where Maury's been on the floor, this time on the defensive side of the play. Back to a 16-point game. This is where things can get a little bit interesting. Mascoutah just trying to find that opportunity. Horace up in the lane, good for 2, counted the bucket. He's got a chance to make it a 3-point play.
If it wasn't an offensive foul.
Oh no, offensive foul, wow. I thought when the referee gave the signal there that he was calling a count the bucket, and Coach Lee is going to actually might actually take a timeout here. Yeah, Coach Lee wants a timeout. He's asking for a timeout because he wants to have a discussion with the referee about this. Offensive foul, so no bucket there for Nick Horace. Jacob Young takes the charge, and Coach Lee is going to have a discussion with the officials about this one. Now he'll go back into this game. You know, you talk about Coach Lee being a tough coach, but he will always defend his players, and he will defend them right in front of the official's face if he doesn't think the call is what it should be.
Yeah, Coach Lee, not usually, definitely not a hot-headed coach by any means, but he will certainly allow his opinions to be expressed, you know?
It's a good way to say it, Zach.
Yeah.
I'm
sure you've got some. It's obviously, you know, the coach-referee dynamic is always something that's going to be, there's always some sort of volatility because, you know, some coaches are not necessarily going to agree. Obviously, the officials are human. They are going to make mistakes. All in all, I think the officiating has been very good. But coaches aren't going to agree with every call, and it seems like the discussion was relatively reasonable, so.
I think the argument that can be made that with 4.5 minutes into this third quarter, The Kayaks have 4 fouls, the Indians 0, and now multiple, I think 4 players for the Kayaks have more than 1 foul, so the Kayaks might have to be dealing with foul trouble as we go into the 4th quarter. This is Beck. Young gets the screen there. Now it's McHugh. If Mascoutah's going to have a comeback, you're going to have him help. There's a hand on it by Carnahan, and Weisinger will go the other way. McHugh picks up the foul. That's his 3rd, and the Kayhawk fans are enjoying that call right there. First foul on the Indians in the quarter.
See the Kayhawk girls basketball team in. They went 1-1 today with a win over Father McGivney's JV, and then a loss to actually these Mascoutah Indians.
Chambers goes up, fouled. Go ahead, Zach. Just wanted to let you know about that. He'll go to the line to shoot too.
Yep, and the fifth place game, so the finish 6 go to 1-3 mark for the tournament, so 3-3 overall, and they'll get into conference play next week as Entacop will re-enter for Mascoutah.
Yeah, and tough for Jordan Beck to guard a man of Zach Chambers' size. Chambers is able to make that first free throw. And just like the first game, I mean, it looks like a 17-point. It is a 17-point game, but as Zach, you said, it doesn't look like a 17-point game, or doesn't feel like a 17-point game is what I'm trying to say. And obviously, undefeated teams remaining undefeated, that's on the line, as well as a championship here at the Tip-Off Classic, which doesn't mean a lot in the grand scheme of the season as Chambers goes 2 for 2, but it does mean a lot. I mean, it makes something happen. It's interesting, and you know, Kayaks have to kind of ride through this wave a little bit, kind of ride through the storm of Mascoutah trying to get back into this game in a little bit of desperation. Entacop down in the paint, tries to use his size against Chambers, and it is blocked at the rim. Chambers averages more than 2 blocks a game. He does it again right there. Brister tried to find Chambers. He got a piece of that. Chambers should have let that go out of bounds, unfortunately. It wasn't the best pass from Brister, right in a lot of traffic, and the Indians will get the ball back here with 2:42 left in the 3rd.
Yeah, been kind of an interesting one. Mascoutah, down 18. You mentioned it doesn't feel like it. They're not going away. Coach Showmaker and his guys, they're hungry. Never want to lose, especially when you haven't lost this year.
Gray will put it up there, just off the rim. Those are the kind of shots that Mascoutah needs to fall, and they're not right now. Now Horace, he's got 13 on the day. Spin move. Tried to dish it to Chambers, who kept the ball in his hands. Now he'll try to power it up. Finds Carnahan. He's open. He'll drive inside. Back out to Brister, and the Kayaks will calm it down here a little bit.
See Beer set to come in at the next stoppage for the Indians.
Weisinger almost shot that 3. That would have been a tough 3 from long distance there. Now he'll drive on McHugh. Made him fall down. Baseline jumper no good with 6 seconds on the shot clock. Entacop falls down again, but Mascoutah's on the break. Here's Gray. Dribble jumper, no good. And Chambers, who is way out of position, couldn't quite get the rebound. Now it is Harris. Trying to step back inside to Entacop. He'll go strong with the drop step. And Chambers may have gotten a piece of that one as well. 90 seconds to go. Time is really running thin here now for Mascoutah. They've had their opportunities to cut into this lead. They're not taking them. Only 23 points, it looks like, through these first 3 quarters. Horace inside, short, got his own miss, and puts it up for 2. Lead is back to 20.
Yeah, Horace up to 15 now, and Young trying to draw another charge, but no call either way from the officials on that one.
2 subs coming in for Mascoutah, including Jordan Beck, who will re-enter. Entacop. Young hasn't shot a lot today. He does have a good shot, but he'll only shoot if he's really wide open. Here's Harris against Brister. 2 speedy athletes right there. Brister gets a piece of the ball there. Kayhawk fans like that. 10 seconds on the shot clock here with just under a minute to play in the 3rd. Harris, 4 seconds now on the shot clock. McHugh's going to have to put one up. Little fadeaway 3, no good, and Horace has got that rebound secured. Now Kayhawks will look to push again. Horace, right down central. Pull-up jumper is good. 17 points for Nick Horace, who has been the star for the Kayhawks in this Tip-Off Classic this weekend. Shot clock turned off. McHugh. Brister almost got that one. Harris will hoist a 3. No good. Chambers got the rebound. Kayhawks will get the final shot of the quarter. And when you thought that Nick Horace could be the 3rd option on this Kayhawk team, he has been option number 1 in this game so far, and he'll be the guy who takes the last shot. Horace jumper, almost automatic. Harris grabs the rebound. He'll have a chance to throw one up, as he was falling down, and that would have been incredibly impressive had he made it, but he didn't. And once again, a very good, strong quarter from the Kayaks. They weathered the storm a little bit when Mascoutah was trying to get back into the game. 45-23 is our score. Kayaks 8 minutes away from going 4-0, and we'll be back with those 8 minutes here on the Kayak Broadcast Club Network in just a moment.
Looking for good food, good times, and good people? Look no further than the Bridge Inn in Caseyville. Just over the bridge from the Kayhawk Stadium, Bridge Inn features a friendly and courteous staff that serves up the coldest drinks and the best food in the Metro East. Lunch and dinner is available daily with a breakfast menu every Saturdays and Sunday morning. And don't forget about fantastic fish fry Fridays. Bridge Inn also features pool tournaments on most weekends and a gaming area for the over 21 crowd. Bridge Inn in Caseyville. Check them out at 519 North Main Street in Caseyville. Call for carryout orders at 618-344-3530. The best is yet to come at the Bridge Inn in Caseyville. 618-344-3530.
(45-23) is our score here with a final quarter of the Collinsville Mascoutah Tip-Off Classic. I want to remind you about our big tournament here at Collinsville High School, the main tournament that many of our viewers come in and see. It is the Prairie Farms Holiday Classic, number 39, or the 39th annual Prairie Farms Holiday Classic will tip off on December 27th. I think the first game will be probably 10 o'clock, and we will have it on all of those games, at least a year at Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium. We'll be live on the Kayhawk Sports Network. Myself, Zach Roseman, and Todd Duke, of course, the voice of the Kayhawk Sports Network, all expected to be there and go through what should be a very exciting field that has some great 4A teams, including Collinsville and Quincy. Should be a lot of fun, but got to get through this tournament first, as McCoo is denied at the rim once again. It's becoming all too customary for Collinsville now. Horace on the fast break, throws it out to Brister, who he almost felt like he was expecting as the trail man there. Weisinger on the bench here for Collinsville at the beginning, and the Kayhawks will leave it out and, spend up some shot clock time.
Yep, spread the floor. You do have the shot clock, but so you can only burn time so much. No holding the ball for a quarter at a time, like some teams have been known to do. But that's probably not the shot. But should be Mascoutah ball.
It's gonna be Collinsville basketball, and the referee on the baseline says that he saw it and gave the ball back to the Collinsville Kayhawks. So it wasn't a great shot on that possession, but the Kayhawks do really well to try to get the second opportunity to get the possession back and get a new set of shot clock. That's just helping the time wind more and more down and giving Mascoutah less and less of an opportunity to have a chance of winning this game, as Chambers will turn around and score. That's the easiest way that the Kayhawks can find a bucket there. And boy, he almost could have slammed that one down, Zach Roseman.
Yeah, just about. Zach's up to 10 now, been all in all a pretty good one. See what the Indians can do to respond.
Here in the corner. Hasn't had much of an offensive impact, has had many of the Mascoutah players. Outside of Entacop, Mascoutah hasn't had much to help them out. Entacop actually on the bench here with 6:45 to play in this final quarter of action here from Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium. That's another miss. Mascoutah have been ice cold from the field. Kayhawks have played some very good defense. Now Chambers again. Oh, he couldn't get that layup to go. Would have given him 12 points. Now McHugh could go on the fast break here. Kayhawks down on numbers for now. Reynolds will elect to take the foul there. A good foul by Chase Reynolds because McHugh didn't get it, didn't shoot yet, so it's going to be on the floor and on the baseline.
Yeah, Reynolds' first foul, not a bad idea. No bonus to worry about. Made sure it was on the floor and allowed the Kayhawks to set up their half-court defense.
Beck struggling to get it in here. He finally finds Harris in the corner. Brister right above him, tips it, and it is out of bounds. But that's what the smothering defense can be for Collinsville. Not only does Jordan Beck have trouble getting the ball in, but then Brister is just right on to Corey Harrison, tips it out of bounds. Nothing has been easy for Mascoutah here tonight. Absolutely nothing, and that's how the Kayhawks have built this big lead. Like even that, should be an easy layup,
yeah.
Zach Roseman, but Collinsville contests it, and Harrison isn't able to finish.
Yeah, it's maybe a little bit of desperation starting to set in now for Mascoutah. Obviously, you have the shot clock, so Collinsville not going to hold the ball as Brister shot up and no good.
Mascoutah gets the rebound now. Time is running out for them. They're down 24. Now the reality sort of starting to set in of how large this margin is. Beck, now Young for three. It's his first three attempt, I think, of the entire night, and he didn't touch rim on that one. Brister Up towards Chambers. He's able to save that, but it goes straight to a Mascoutah player. Now coming the other way is Corey Harris against the fast Chase Reynolds, too. Two athletes going right at each other, and Chase Reynolds forced to use another foul. That's his 4th on the day. And the only other foul trouble, actually, pardon me, I'll correct myself there. That's only his 2nd foul, Chase Reynolds.
Let's see, Talbot come in for Collinsville. Justin Williams in for the Indians, as Chambers will get a nice hand from the K-Hawk Crazy section, which pretty solid numbers from the student body here tonight.
Yeah, it was blackout night, so they were matching with the Mascoutah players. There's a block by Solomon Talbot. Couldn't quite corral the loose change after he got the block, and Beer will make him pay for it with a 3. First points of the night for Wyatt Beer, who is more of a baseball player for Mascoutah, but is a good role player off the bench for Cole Showmaker. There's Stanley Carnahan. Looks inside to Horace, uses his physicality to get up and score again. He's done it in all different ways. He's up to 19 points now. It could be his second 20-point outing of the tournament. And he'll look for more here as he leads the charge on the fast break. Pull-up jumper. Missed it, but he got his own rebound again. That's how Horace gets the majority of his points. 21 for Nick Horace. Fantastic from the senior.
It's just done his job. Nicky Tony as
yeah, we got to put that nickname in there because Todd and Chris, who normally do these games, love to call him that, and they'd be very pleased with how he's playing right now.
Yep. Nice take there from Justin Williams.
Mascoutah still the mountain to climb with 4 minutes to go. Jamori Weisinger and Zach Chambers will come back into the game, but right now it's the Nick Horace show. He's double teamed here and throws it away. He's turned the ball over there. But I tell you what, Zach, the real story, I know Nick Horace has got 21 points. The real story of this game, I think, is going to be that K-Hawk defense that gave up 60 against Miller Career Academy. They actually gave up more points to Riverview Gardens than any other team did to the Rams. They gave up 32 to the Rams, and, just to see them hold Mascoutah to under 30 points up to this point is highly, highly impressive.
Still have half a quarter left to play, but you're right. Nice shot up there.
Justin Williams get us another floater. Did the same thing. They're up to 6 points is Williams. Just shooting it right over Solomon Talbot. That is no easy task. Press broken. Horace. Chambers. No good as him and Talbot are both in the game right now. Loose ball picked up by Beer, and the Indians are trying to get a little bit momentum here. Pull-up jumper from Harris. That is off the front of the rim. Scrapping at it was Entekop and Chambers, but it's going to be Nick Horace who gets away with the ball. They're going to need to get it down the floor, and they do with Chase Reynolds getting the basketball there. 3.5 minutes to play. Weisinger fouled, and that'll be the first foul of the Indians of the quarter. Collinsville will get a little bit of time off. They'll get about a week off before they go. Actually, no, they won't get a week off. They're going up on Tuesday. They're going up north to play Rochester before they open their Southwestern home slate against the Belleville East Lancers coming up on Friday, December the 2nd. You'll be able to catch that game live on our flagship station, the K-Hawk Sports Network. Should be really exciting to see them play. Weisinger for another 3. Short, but Chambers is there on the rebound. He had the positioning, and he has the basket.
Chambers up to 12 points, and see Rochester obviously won a state title in football yesterday. I think that's 9 in the past 11 or 12 years. Haven't had quite as much success on the basketball court. We'll see how they do when the K-Hawks make the trip up to the Rochester Athletic Complex, I believe is what they call their gym, as we'll have a foul on Solomon Talbot.
So Justin Williams, who has been attacking Talbot this entire fourth quarter, will go to the line to shoot 2. As for the Indians, first home game isn't until in December 8th when they play Waterloo, so they have 6 straight road games to open the season if you consider all of these road games. Some of them, I guess you could call them neutral site games, but they're away from home. They'll be able to play in front of their home fans, and that atmosphere of Mascoutah is really key to helping them win. And, for Cole Showmaker, he's only lost 3 games in the Mississippi Valley Conference as head coach of the Mascoutah Indians, and they'll be looking to clinch a second championship with the team this season. Do you think he's going to be able to do that as Williams hits the second?
I think it's certainly within the realm of possibility. I mean, I think all in all, the Mississippi Valley should be a pretty competitive conference. Triad I don't think they quite have the capability from last year's sectional finalist team. Nice take there from Chambers. But I would think, Triad will still be competitive. Waterloo looked to be improved. I mean, Alex Stell is one of the best big men prospects in the area, 6'9", and has developed well. I believe he had 41 points in one of their games earlier this year, and so a good start for him as Waterloo were competing in the Alton tournament. Highland, led by EIU baseball commit Jake Ottensmeyer, they're always competitive, and even Civic Memorial in Jerseyville could can put up a fight, certainly, depending on the night.
Harris's three is short as Collinsville switched to zone. Good aggression by Talbot to keep that ball alive, and Horace will try to get some points out of it. Outside to Weisinger, ball fake, and Mascoutah gets back strong there. That's what K-Hawk fans want to see. Here's Chambers. Oh, and he's fouled by Entekop. He was looking for the posterizer, and Miles Entekop now has foul number 2. Fans love Chambers' aggression there to try to go and put Entekop on a poster after Entekop had a sort of a dunk over Chambers earlier in the second quarter.
I have to wipe the basketball off. Got some sweat or something on it.
Well, you got some big burly guys in there. I'm sure they're putting off some sweat. I know I did when I was playing for the Collinsville K-Hawks just about 2 or 3 years ago. And
see Brister come in at the next opportunity. Jordan Beck in for the Indians as well.
Well, you look at it, talk about the big three and how Collinsville can win when all 3 of their star players, their seniors, are playing really well, and that's been the case today. With Chambers making that free throw, he's up to 15 points. Nick Horace obviously leads the line with 21, and Jamori Weisinger chips in with 12 as well. So that'll combine, if I'm doing my math right, to 48 points out of the 56 that the K-Hawks have scored. Can't get more simple than that, as Entekop will go to the bench. That will probably conclude his tip-off classic appearances.
As we'll see Horace and Weisinger come out, and we'll see Carnahan come in probably for Chambers, as the big three going with a good run so far, and see what Mascoutah are able to do kind of in mop-up time, get some of your lower-level guys some more experience.
Harris is going to shoot another long three. Now it's Beer. Justin Williams, who's had a decent fourth quarter, has got the ball now. 10 seconds on the shot clock.
Zone defense proving problematic.
Williams inside, right on Talbot again. Floater is just short, and Chambers up there to muscle the rebound. Gets it out to Brister, and the K-Hawks can relax pretty much now. Here's Wilkinson. Oh, he was about to shoot a three, and I think Coach Lee told him not so fast.
We'll go ahead and see some of the end of the bench guys. A.J. Main and Jace Wilkinson will make their way to the store.
Look at that, big man to big man. Solomon Talbot to Chambers on the high-low. I'm sure I got Coach Andy Horace, who coached a lot of these guys early in their basketball careers. I'm sure he's loving that as he's sitting on the top row of the near side of the support, or not the supporters, but of the fan section. With 1 minute and 5 seconds to play, Collinsville commits another foul, but I'm sure he's loving that. 58-31, man. What a performance from the Collinsville K-Hawks, as Reynolds and Chambers will come out to an ovation from the K-Hawk fans.
Yep. Main and Jace Wilkinson in. So we've got the both Wilkinsons out there. They are not related.
They are not related.
Okay.
Not related in any sort of way, at least not from what I'm concerned. Obviously, Evan Wilkinson is related to Jake Wilkinson, who graduated last year.
Yep.
Good little pressure from Jace Wilkinson, the the sophomore guard.
Yep. Also played some quarterback for the JV football team that I got to broadcast a few of those games.
Williams just throws one up there. Good rebound by Jordan Beck, and he will get 2 points there. And obviously Entekop graduates after this year, so they will want Jordan Beck to do well off the bench for them this year. Here's Maine. He'll throw one up there. No good. And Solomon Talbot tried his right hand. No good. Second time, no good. And he'll go to the line for 2 shots. If he makes them, the K-Hawks will score 60. Once again, they have eclipsed 60 in all 3 of their prior games, or all 3 of their games prior to tonight. They got the opportunity to do that with some Solomon Talbot free throws.
Yep. If you're averaging 60-plus points a game, you're going to be doing all right. Obviously, maybe some small things to shore up defensively, but as Solomon makes the first one, it'll be kind of interesting. Collinsville maybe a little more up-tempo than some other Collinsville teams, so yeah. And Solomon
makes both.
Yeah, that away.
Boy, Mascoutah, with the shot clock turned off here, looked pretty surprised. I do not think they were expecting to come in today, and they kind of have dropped the stinker, but the Kayaks have just beaten them up, and Collinsville deserves a lot of credit for that. Floater from Williams, no good. Maine's got the rebound. Split 2 defenders, and now we'll turn and continue to go. Evan Wilkinson, a 3. It's good. What an end to the Collinsville Mascoutah Tip-Off Classic. The Kayaks are going to win this game by 30 points. Domination from Collinsville. They move to 4-0 on the season, and they win the Collinsville Mascoutah Tip-Off Classic. What a way to end it with Evan Wilkinson just sinking a 3. Mascoutah blown away by this Collinsville offense, and Rayshawn Taylor was in the building tonight. Boy, he saw an awesome win from Collinsville. 63-33, the final score. Zach Roseman, this team, there were questions coming into this Collinsville Mascoutah Tip-Off Classic about Collinsville's legitimacy. If they play like that, boy, they're going to be a good team, and they're going to be hard to beat.
Yeah, I mean, to go in and beat a pretty strong Mascoutah side by 30 points, and they've looked good. I mean, obviously we'll see what. Obviously, the Southwestern Conference is an absolute meat grinder every year, and
no matter who or what teams are playing,
every year you've got a team that's good. You're going to have multiple teams that are quality, and we'll see. Obviously, you've got Belleville East, who it's going to be kind of a new look Belleville East team, but they've gotten off to a pretty good start. A lot of guys gone. Jordan Pickett, most notably. We'll go ahead and have the introduction of the rest of the all-tournament team.
And I'm not going to lie, I'm pretty sure that this is going to consist of Miles Entekop, Nick Horace, Jamori Weisinger, and Zach Chambers. Could see Jaden McHugh come into that team, but after tonight's performance where McHugh only had about 4 or 6 points, I don't think he's going to make the all-tournament team, but Miles Entekop will make the all-tournament team. Boy, he's going to be a problem in the MVC.
And we'll see if you're right. Nick Horace probably. I don't think they will technically announce an MVP. I think they were just doing 5 guys, but if I were to give one nice show of sportsmanship there, is they'll go ahead and give Miles Entekop a little hand there, and they will go ahead and give that last spot to Zach Chambers. So 4 out of the 5. The other member of that all-tournament team was Antoine Franklin of Miller Career, and he had a brief little presentation of his all-tournament medal after the conclusion of that Miller Career Riverview Gardens game. And I think that there is like a plaque of sorts that they'll be giving, presenting to Collinsville for winning the tournament. So we'll have some pictures taken by the Collinsville coaching staff.
Yep, and that'll be the K-Hawks 63-33 winners tonight against Mascoutah. They win every game in this tournament, or in this little tip-off classic, by double digits. We will be back in just a moment after a couple of words from our sponsors to wrap this tournament up here. The final score, once again, Collinsville 63, Mascoutah 33. And we'll be back in a moment to wrap it up here on the K-Hawk Broadcast Club Student Network.
Lakeside Roofing in Collinsville. Let the professionals at Lakeside Roofing protect your most important investment, your home or business. Have the elements taken a toll on your roof system? Notice a leaking roof? Maybe it's time for a free roof inspection. Regular maintenance can extend the life of your roofing system by 10 years or more. Lakeside Roofing is your winning team for commercial and residential roofing systems. Lakeside All-Star professionals have installed, repaired, and maintained hundreds of roofs on both sides of the river. Call Lakeside Roofing today at 618-344-2800 in Collinsville or 314-241-5253 or online at lakesideroofing.com. Choose experience, choose Lakeside. Are you in need of a new mailbox to go with your new home? How about a new mailbox to replace your old one? Look no further than Big Dick's Brick Mailboxes in Collinsville. From economy to custom, Big Dick's Brick Mailboxes can create a mailbox that suits your needs. Big Dick's Brick Mailboxes is licensed and insured. They use only high-quality materials and offer a satisfaction guarantee policy. Big Dick's Brick Mailboxes can also make your very own axe throwing set, hanging or standing. Whether you need that axe throwing set or a new mailbox, you need Big Dick's Brick Mailboxes in Collinsville. For more information, get a hold of Big Dick's Brick Mailboxes at 618-680-0208 or online at needanewmailbox.com. Looking to buy a new home or sell your current home? Trust the Blaylock Group of eXp Realty with all of your real estate needs. The real estate market is hot right now, and you can trust the years of experience the Blaylock Group brings to the table. The Blaylock Group can help you find your dream home, or they can help you get top dollar for your current home. Give Peyton or Emily Blaylock a call today at the Blaylock Group of eXp Realty, 618-780-4622. That's 618-780-4622. The Blaylock Group of eXp Realty.
Back of the year at Fletcher Gymnasium for one final time on this Thanksgiving weekend. A successful tournament. Collinsville Mascoutah Tip-Off Classic champions are the Collinsville Chaox, the hosts of this year's tournament, with a 63-33 win over the Mascoutah Indians. And just back up here at the press box for the final time, Matt Clark alongside Zach Roseman. Very good game for the K-Hawks. They almost outscored Mascoutah by more points than they did Riverview Gardens. Just a great work offensively, but the defense was where it lied, Zach. It was an incredible defensive performance against the Mascoutah team that had scored more than 50 points both times they had played. They were all over it today, and I think that's the reason why they won this game by 30 points, even though it really didn't feel like it. The scoreboard doesn't lie. They won by 30.
Yeah, it really did feel closer than that for the majority of the game, and I think, this will probably be one of the toughest teams that Mascoutah will have to go up against. The Mississippi Valley, obviously there's some good teams. You'll see Triad and Highland, maybe a Waterloo make some runs, and Mascoutah, obviously, you're going to want to look to build to the playoffs. Obviously, you got the conference schedule. You'll be going out to Breeze for the Modern Day Christmas Tournament, which is one of the best small school tournaments in the state, really, to be honest. Kind of an interesting field out there. And then I don't remember for sure, probably Nashville, I believe, is where they've gone the past few years for their sort of midwinter tournament, if you will. So some things to build upon, and obviously this is a team that maybe has some 3A regional aspirations. Obviously the main team for 3A in this area is East St. Louis, but capabilities there. And for Collinsville, you've taken care of business. They've done really a phenomenal performance, probably their best performance of the year here tonight. Took care of business earlier against Riverview Gardens, had a solid enough showing last week, earlier this week, yesterday, against
played Miller Career Academy, right?
Miller Career Academy, and then last night and earlier this week against Heron. And so you got one more, going another longer bus ride, probably about an hour and a half on a bus up to Rochester. Kind of an unfamiliar environment, not something, I don't think Collinsville have played Rochester recently in basketball. I mean, sure, maybe at some point I'd have to go through and look, but so you got that, and then you're back here at Fletcher Gym for conference play, and from there it's a pretty short sprint to the Brave Farms Holiday Classic, which should be a lot of fun. It's probably you and I and Todd Duke, of course, and that should be a fun time as the decent number of fans still milling around here at Fletcher Gym.
Yeah, for sure, and they'll be enjoying the fact that the Coyotes went undefeated this weekend. Let's just break down this weekend once again for you, give you all the final scores once again. Mascoutah opened this tournament, or the Tip-Off Classic, really well, played really strong in a 68-21 win over Riverview Gardens, a complete blowout on night one. Then the K-Hawks had to get past Miller Career Academy, who played really well in that game, kept fighting and kept pushing, but the K-Hawks were able to win that game by 10 on Friday night, 77-67 in their home opener, moved to 1-0. Then this morning, Mascoutah beat Miller Career Academy in probably the closest game of this tip-off class. It's 55-46. Mascoutah had a close lead for the majority of the game, then stretched it out right at the end. So that meant Mascoutah went to 2-0. Miller Career went to 0-2. Then Collinsville joined Mascoutah at 2-0 with an 82-35 victory over Riverview Gardens, who dropped to 0-2. So a couple of good games there. And then tonight, of course, call it blowout night, or the blowout session of this tournament, as Miller Career Academy wins over Riverview Gardens 65-25. Collinsville beat Mascoutah 63-33. So the standings after the tournament look like this. Everybody played everybody, and the Kayaks reigned supreme, beating all of their opponents 63-33, or actually 63-33 final score tonight, which meant they were 3-0. Mascoutah finishes 2-1 with victories over Riverview Gardens and Miller Career Academy, and a loss to Collinsville. Miller Career Academy goes 1-2. They beat Riverview Gardens, but lost to both the Kayaks and the Indians. And in last place at the end of this tournament was the Riverview Gardens Rams, who went 0-3, lost to all three of their opponents. So the Kayaks will go, and they will play Rochester on Tuesday, and they will have their Southwestern Conference opener on Friday. I mean, Zach, I'll just pose this question again. They're going to be pretty good if they play like they did tonight, and how are they going to be able to translate that from being just a good game tonight to having this be their normal game each and every week?
Well, I mean, the primary efficiency is continuing to shoot the ball. Continuing to shoot the ball well.
They shot the ball well tonight.
Yeah, they shot the ball well. Really, every game so far. They shot the ball well down in Heron. They shot the ball well all tournament here. Jamori Weisinger especially from the outside. It's a pretty cohesive unit. There's a fair amount of experience. And even some of the newer guys coming in. Evan Wilkinson didn't get much of any varsity experience, sparing varsity minutes last year. Tyree Brister, a new guy coming in and, just kind of being that defensive spark plug, and only a sophomore. And, it'll still be tough to tell, but, it's a long season. A lot of things can happen. But if you're a K-Hawk fan, you are cautiously optimistic. That could be a pretty good run. You know that at some point you're going to run into Quincy, whether it's at Prairie Farms or down the line in the playoffs. You're going to see the Blue Devils, and that's been the big hump for the K-Hawks the past couple of years, knocking Collinsville out the last 2 years in the sectional semi 2 years ago here at Virgil Fletcher Gym, and then last year in the regional title game at Blue Devil Gymnasium. So we'll see what happens. Like I said, it's still a long season, still November. So yeah, well, looks like we may have Collinsville assistant coach Eric Anderson coming.
While he's deciding, we'll just go ahead and check. Wanted to give a couple of thank yous out to a couple of players, and I just wanted to thank not only Collinsville, but the Collinsville the K-Hawk Athletic Department, and all the great people that are a part of that, and the entire staff of the Collinsville basketball team, and Todd Duke specifically for allowing us to cover these 6 games, as I'm actually going to be joined by Eric Anderson here on the other mic, junior varsity head coach and the assistant coach for the Collinsville Kayaks, with a quick post-game interview. Coach Anderson, congratulations on a 4-0 start to the season and a 3-0 finish to the Collinsville Mascoutah Tip-Off Classic, where you were champions. First of all, how are you doing tonight, and did you have a good Thanksgiving?
I had a great Thanksgiving. Thanks, Matt Clark. Appreciate you doing this for the tournament. These guys played well tonight. We're glad to get the W.
Yeah, for sure. It was good. It was good to see you. It was good to see you guys play well. First of all, obviously there were some great performances by individual players, but how about the team defense, keeping this Mascoutah team to 33 points, 14 points in the first half, 16 points in the second half. That's a full defensive effort on both sides. Was that a point of emphasis coming into tonight's game?
Yeah, definitely. We wanted to shore up some defensive flaws. We've shown a little bit. We've been getting them beat off the dribble a little bit. We don't have all 5 guys checking and rebounding yet. That's something that you probably remember. We worked on a lot. We're getting there. I was pleasantly surprised with our energy. Playing a couple games already in this tournament, coming out tonight, you never know how flat you're going to come out. And, you can tell the guys to have energy and play with energy all you want, but they still got to do it, and they did. And we had guys diving on the floor. The energy level was high, and we came and jumped all over them.
Yeah, talk to me a little bit about Nick Horace, who surprisingly went up for 30 points. His first 30-point, I think, performance in any level that he's ever played. He had 30 points on Friday night against Miller Career Academy, but a 21-point performance to lead the team, against against the Mascoutah Indians tonight. It seems like he's able to score when it's necessary, but also facilitate when it's necessary. Seems like he's been a really good all-around player. Were you particularly expecting Nick to go off for 30 last night and play very well tonight as well?
Yeah, I mean, I never have a point, value in mind, but this year we're asking Nick to do some more scoring for us. Last year he had more of a facilitator role and a defensive stopper role. He's a point guard last year. We've moved him off the point this year, and we're really looking to get him more aggressive on the offensive end, and he's done that. I mean, like you said, he had 30-plus point game, 21 tonight. Late in games, we like to spread people out, and we like the ball in his hands to make decisions, and he's done a great job so far.
Yeah, for sure. And talk to me a little bit about Zach Chambers, sized up against a good opponent who he's played before in the other end on Miles Entekop, and that was a bit of a battle in there, but Chambers won it, man. 17 points for the big boy inside. I saw his motivation and his looks and his energy in there. I'm sure you saw it as well from Big Z, as they call him there, as the team calls him.
Yeah, Zach, he's done a great job getting himself in great shape physically, and I think that's going to pay dividends early in the season here. And, he's running the floor, and it's hard work down there battling and playing post defense every possession and then going down and posting up. Those guys are banging big bodies down there all game long. And, yeah, he did a great job tonight. He was relentless, and I think he wore the other team down a little bit with his size in there. They drive in there, and we tell our guards, you can get up and pressure a little bit, and you got Zach and you got Solomon Talbot back there when he's in the game. We got some big size in there, and Stanley Carnahan, and, if you do get beat, you got a little help, so don't be afraid to get up and pressure a little bit, and our guards did that tonight, and Zach had their back.
Yeah, for sure. Now, this was a pretty impressive victory for you guys. 30-point win, exactly. But obviously there are always things to work on. So where do you or Coach Lee think there could have been an area of opportunity for Collinsville and for your team here tonight to turn these wins into even better victories and turn these team performances to in turning this from just a one-game performance into looking long-term and looking very strong for a stretch of games?
Well, we've shot the ball well early this season. I mean, we've come out of the gate shooting it well, and you can't rely on that every night. So we really like to get better defensively and really rebound. We need to dominate the glass a little bit more. We had a couple games stretches in this game and last game or early in the tournament where, we're giving up too many offensive rebounds. And some of them we had our hands on first and just weren't able to corral it. And that's something we really want to work on, because when we start conference play, as you know very well, you're going to have to rebound. You're going to have to keep teams off the glass, and if we can do a little bit better job of that and keeping guys in front of us. Defensively, we got some guys still out of position, some defensive breakdowns. We're giving up some layups, and those are things that typically we can shore up a little bit and get better as the season goes along. So, yeah, I mean, if we can continue to shoot the ball, great, but on nights where we don't, we'd like to be able to rely on our defense a little bit more, and we just got to shore up some things, and I think we got a chance to be a very tough team.
For sure, and you're looking to be a tough team. Obviously, it's fun to win these sort of games and have a good weekend, but got to look forward. Obviously, Rochester on Tuesday, a trip up north against a team that I don't think the Cayhawks have played in quite a long time, and then, of course, the big Southwestern Conference opener on Friday against Bevel East, which we'll have live on the Cayhawk Sports Network. Have you even been able to begin to think about that, and what are your early thoughts about beginning the Southwestern Conference slate?
You know what? We really haven't looked too far ahead. We're kind of taking it game by game, and, we're going to look towards Rochester here, and then we'll get some more film on Belleville East, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, I agree. You ought to enjoy this one, Coach Anderson, along with the team. And thank you so much, JV head coach and assistant varsity head coach Eric Anderson, joining me on the post-game show. Thank you so much. And I also wanted to –
Thanks, Matt.
Yep,
Appreciate
absolutely. And also wanted to thank a bunch of other people on our that have helped us put this on again. Todd Duke and, of course, the entire – Cayhawk basketball team and the entire Collinsville High School for doing such a great job putting this all together. It was quite some fun. Don't forget, we have another tournament coming up for you here on the not on the Cayhawk Broadcast Club Network, but on the Cayhawk Sports Network. Be sure to tune in December 27th through the 29th as the Collinsville Jayhawks will look to win the 39th annual Collinsville annual Prairie Farms Holiday Basketball Tournament. It is going to be so much fun. Myself, Zach Roseman, Todd Duke will be able to bring you that coverage. And don't forget, we've got our first varsity basketball Southwestern Conference game coming up on Friday at 7:30. The Collinsville Jayhawks will go up against the Beverly East Lancers. That is a great matchup. You won't want to miss it. That will not be on here. It'll be on our flagship network, the Jayhawk Sports Network. But for now, this is Matt Clark signing off after a successful Collinsville Mascoutah Tip-Off Classic. Happy holidays to everyone, and have a wonderful rest of your week. And enjoy December and the cold weather that we've got coming up. But the final score, once again, from Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium tonight, Collinsville 63, Mascoutah 33. Have a great night.